Greetings, everyone. I am Mabuto Nicholas Mabena. We are discussing the High Court judgment, which was delivered on the 4th of November 2025. My apologies for discussing this after almost a week or so. As you know, we have been traveling. We've been in Zimbabwe, where we held the Red October campaign launch in Bulawayo on Saturday. I am sure most of you did follow it live, and you have been reading in news articles. Those that do follow me on Facebook and the other social media platforms. But we will also be posting media statements in the community platform here in this platform so that you can read it. And also you see some snippets of videos that we are posting. Yesterday, we posted the one that was talking about the contribution to the economy. It was about a 6-minute video where to cut because in our presentation, the speech that I delivered on behalf of the Central Committee, it was over 40 minutes or so. So we are thinking of cutting the video so that you have time to watch. This morning, again, we did post when we are responding to a question, a video of about 5 minutes. So we'll continue as we go during the course of the week to cut the video short, send about 5 minutes videos. Then, as what we are discussing is in the matter between Kopanang Africa against xenophobia, who was the first applicant, South African Informal Traders Forum, second applicant, Inner City Federation, third applicant, Abahlali baseMjondolo Movement of South Africa, fourth applicant. I must point out that all these organizations are led by South Africans. These are not migrant organizations or organizations that are led by migrants that went to court. Yes, some of them, they might have migrants, but mainly they are South Africans. So it's in the matter between these organizations that I've mentioned, and Operation Dudula first responded, Government of the Republic of South Africa second responded, Minister of Police third responded, National Commissioner of the South African Police Services fourth responded, Minister of Home Affairs fifth responded, Minister of Justice and Correctional Services sixth responded, Member of the Executive Council in Gauteng Department of Health seventh responded, Minister of Health eighth responded, and Minister of Basic Education ninth responded. Member of the Executive Council in Gauteng Department of Education 10th responded, Zandile Dudula 11th responded, Danny Hadebes 12th responded, the South African Human Rights Commission 13th responded, that is Section 27, the International Commission of Jurists, Media Monitoring Africa, the United Nations Special Rapporteur on Human Rights Defenders. So I will not read the judgment. It's a 52 judgment, 52-page judgment. So we want to discuss the order. I'm sure most of you have gone through the order, but we think it's important that we discuss the order again here. I'm trying to scroll down to get to the order, but let me start again slowly. Let me not rush so that I read the correct thing. Right, I found the order. It says, it be and is hereby declared that only an immigration officer or a police officer has the power in terms of Section 41 of the Immigration Act 13 of 2002 to demand that another private person produce his or her passport or other identity documents to demonstrate her or his right to be in the Republic of South Africa, and that no private person has the power to do so unless expressly so authorized by law. So if a person in a tax, the tax rank or in the streets stops you asking for your documents, your ID, your passport, or whatever legal documents, they have no right to do so. And you should not be giving such persons your documents. You remember the other person that had of, I think is a member of Operation Dudula, he had gone to a clinic in the East End, ended up having people's passports, took people's passports for verification. They have no right to do so. So the court has issued that order. And then its second order says the first respondent, the 11th and the 12th respondents be and are hereby interdicted and restrained from demanding that any private person produce her or his passport or other identity documents to demonstrate her or his right to be in the Republic. A third says the first respondent, the 11th and the 12th respondents being and are hereby interdicted and restrained from A, intimidating, harassing, and or assaulting any individuals that they identify as being foreign nationals. I don't know how you identify a person as a foreign national. Some people say I look like as other South Africans. I will not mention their names. So if you just meet me in a restaurant, unless of course you follow my YouTube channel, I'm a public figure. You have seen me before. Then you say, yeah, that one is Comrade Mabena, a Zimbabwean by birth. But assuming it's first time for you to see me, how will you tell that I'm a foreign? Yeah, so B says making public statements that constitute hate speech on the grounds of nationality, social origin, or ethnicity at public gatherings, on social media platforms, or in any other way. So don't insult me here. I know some people have a tendency of insulting me, but it says, let me read again, making public statements that constitute hate speech. It's a court order directed uh, directed at the first, 11th, and the 12th respondents that they should not use social media to insult people based on their nationality. C, interfering with the access of foreign nationals to healthcare services and or their right to such access. In other words, they have no right to go and block the gate at a public hospital or clinic to prevent people from entering. D, interfering with access to or the operations of schools and intimidating or harassing learners, teachers, or parents at schools. It is not their duty. It is the duty of those that have been mandated to do so. And we know who has been mandated to do so. E, unlawfully evicting foreign nationals from their homes. So you can't come to go to people's homes and start evicting people. You are not authorized to do that. F, unlawfully removing foreign nationals from their trading stalls or interfering with the employment of foreign nationals in shops and businesses. In other words, it is only those authorized to visit work premises, not any other person. Private individuals have no right to do so. If they suspect that a particular company is employing undocumented migrants and it is of great concern to them, the best they can do is to report such to those mandated to do the inspection. So themselves, they have no right, and the court has made that ruling or order. G, instigating encouraging or inciting any other person to perform any of the acts prohibited by this order on social media at gatherings in terms of the Regulations of Gatherings Act 2005 of 1993 or in any other way. So they have no right to do so. Comrade, your name is not clear. You go by TYN 593. You ask, does the community forum have the right to ask as well? Yeah, you have to ask. That's why we created this platform for you to ask while we are. It's a discussion. It's a discussion. So you ask, I respond. Number 4 says the first respondent being and is hereby ordered and directed to communicate this order to any and or all of its office bearers and the members. 5, the second respondent be part, sorry, the second respondent being and is hereby directed and ordered to take reasonable steps to implement the National Action Plan to combat racism, racial discrimination, xenophobia, and related intolerance, including by A, taking steps to establish an early warning and rapid response mechanism regarding threats of xenophobic hate speech and hate crimes, being collating and publishing disaggregated data in respect of xenophobic hate speech and hate crimes, including the prosecution and conviction of persons who commit such offenses. Number 6 of the order reads as follows. It being and is hereby declared that on a proper interpretation of Section 41 of Immigration Act 13 of 2002, the powers conferred on an immigration officer or police officer A are confirmed to public places and do not authorize warrantless searches in private places that include the home and places of study, work, or businesses. Police officers, they cannot just, according to this order, they cannot just come to people's homes, workplaces, and start searching. They have to obtain the search warrant for them to conduct the search, being require that an immigration officer or police officer hold a reasonable suspicion that a person is unlawfully in South Africa in order to request them to identify themselves as a citizen, permanent resident, or foreigner, and C, do not permit the interrogation, arrest, and detention of children under the age of 18, except as a measure of last resort and in a manner that is consistent with Section 28, subsection 1, subsection G of the Constitution. Uh, I don't understand your question. You are saying, can the community forum policing ask for passport or ID? The order that I'm reading, if you suspect, if you're a private citizen, you cannot do that. If you suspect that someone, and you have reasonable suspicion that someone is in the country unlawfully, you notify those mandated to conduct such verification. That is police and immigration officers. Otherwise, any other person has no right, unless if you are authorized. If you are not authorized, the order is very clear, the order which we are discussing. Number 7, the first, second, third, fourth, sixth, 11th, and 12th respondents jointly and severally, the one paying the other to be absolved, shall pay the applicant's cost of their opposed special motion, such cost to include the cost of 3 counsel, were so employed in regard to counsel's costs incurred after 12 April 2024. Same shall be on scale C of the tariff applicable in terms of Uniform Rule of Code 67A. So that is the order by the High Court. As I said, that is a 52-page judgment. We thought we will not read the entire judgment. But if you want to read, it is available online. You can read the entire judgment. We hope that Operation Dudula and others, March to March and others, will desist from what they have been doing against foreigners, and we expect that the police and immigration officials are going to do their work as mandated by the constitution, and the issue of harassing people at their workplaces, in their homes in the middle of the night will not happen. Such should happen if there's a reasonable suspicion, and a search warrant must be issued for such to happen. Um, we, of course, as the leadership of the Zimbabwe community in South Africa and the African Diaspora Forum, we encourage migrants that are in South Africa to ensure that they are legal. You must be legal in South Africa. This is why we've dedicated most of our videos, if you check, giving advice on how to be legal, whether in applying for an asylum document, Section 22, applying for any of the various permits that are available for you to be legal. You should not live in South Africa undocumented. Uh, we have said those that are on Zimbabwe exemption permits, Lesotho special permits are covered up to, of course, in 2027. We do not know what is going to happen. We know that a number of them have applied for waivers, applying to uh, be in mainstream visas. So we always encourage people to do so. There are those that are not under these special categories that do not necessarily qualify in terms of the other visas that are available. We've discussed the points-based system, critical skills, general work visas, and so forth. If you do not qualify, it's unfortunate. But our job is to ensure that we give you the necessary information for you to be legal in the Republic of South Africa, because every country would want to have people that are legal, so that everyone that is in the country is recorded. I am legal in South Africa. The Department of Home Affairs know where to find me if they want to. If I commit an offense, and the Department of Home Affairs needs to interview me, or the police, the immigration, they know where to find me. So that's what we encourage. So we are not an organization that promotes that the people should live in the country undocumented. That's the criticism that we always receive from others, which is not the case, of course. Yeah, if you are married to a South African, we have always given information how you should apply for a spouse visa. If you are in a relationship, you want to apply for a partner's visa, or if your partner is any of the visas, be it ZEP, critical skills visa, Lesotho special visa, or any other visas, we've always been giving you this information. It is to ensure that everyone is legal in the country. Marie Afonso says, arresting someone in our constitution. If any South African listen to the captured judge, I'm not sure what you are saying. I hope others do understand your comment. Comrade Elvis says, "Can I work using a waiver slip or not?" I don't understand again. Today, you're asking me a bit difficult questions. Unless, Comrade Elvis, Kwati, you applied for a waiver when you are not a ZP holder. We have said in this platform that waivers are for a ZP holder. So if you have applied for a waiver and you know that you have you do not have a ZEP or you are not a holder of ZEP, you might, I've seen these waivers being issued, but when you then apply for a general work visa, you get rejected on the basis that you don't have a ZEP. So if you only have a waiver receipt, but you have no ZEP, you have a serious problem. Comrade, you said, do we bother young people in Zimbabwe? Assuming Zimbabwe's economy was far, far ahead of the South African economy, and the South African economy was far, far worse than the Zimbabwean economy, naturally, you are going to cross to Zimbabwe. It doesn't need a rocket scientist. You are going to cross to Zimbabwe because you can't live in a country where there's hunger, but your neighbor, when you look across the fence or across the river, it's a bit greener than where you are. You will certainly cross. So otherwise, comrades, no, thank you so much. If you have more comments, you can send in the comment section. We are going to continue reading your comments and we'll get back to you. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.